Have you ever wondered, how do I create multiple streams of income inside of my woodworking business? In today's video, I'm going to walk you through whether you should or shouldn't do it, and if you do decide to do it, what are the best ways to do it? Let's dive in. All right, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the podcast. As always, I'm your host, Zach Vaught. And if you don't know me, I spent the last 7 or 8 years of my life starting my woodworking business in my garage and scaling that business to over $75,000 per month with a team of employees, a commercial space, a showroom. I also help woodworkers all over North America and across the rest of the world do the same exact thing. And so I want to spend some time in today's video specifically talking about multiple streams of income. Before we dive into the logistics of how to create multiple streams of income, one of the things that I want to talk about is kind of the fallacy around millionaires having multiple streams of income. If you look at and you see stuff on social media and everybody is saying every millionaire has on average 7 streams of income. First of all, that is probably true. But what they don't tell you is that they didn't become a millionaire by creating 7 streams of income. They became a millionaire by doubling down on one until they became a millionaire and they started diversifying their streams of income from that point on. So one of the biggest myths that I think keep people stuck a lot of times is that you need to have all these things happening and going in order to become successful. And that is just not the truth. You need to really focus on one thing and making it great. I did not have multiple things going on until I had a really good income where I could invest in other income producing businesses or assets, right? And so I want to walk you through my 3 big ideas around creating multiple streams of income. Number 1, the first big idea that I would tell you is that if you're new and if you don't have a successful business, you shouldn't even be worrying about creating multiple streams of income. You should build one thing that's great. So, how to build multiple streams of income? Number 1, don't. Focus on building one great thing. As that one great thing grows and it's spitting off more cash that you can then reinvest in other things, then you can do that. I think people stay stuck because they have this belief, if I don't have 7 streams of income, I'll never become a millionaire. Well, that's not how millionaires became millionaires. They became millionaires with one thing. Number 2, this one's super important. Once if you can decide that, like, okay, I'm going to laser focus on this one thing that's going to become my thing, then once it starts to grow, the next best way to create quote unquote multiple streams of income is to offer cross sales inside of your business. What does this mean? What does this look like? So let's say, for example, I'll give you my exact story. Okay. Let's say that, for example, you are a custom furniture business owner and your primary thing is dining tables, benches, and chairs. Well, if I start getting a lot of traction with dining tables, benches, and chairs, I shouldn't go try to start an accounting business. I shouldn't go try to start a real estate business. I should find other things inside of my business that I can make more money with, right? I want to stay as closely connected to the thing that I'm already good at as I can. And so by offering cross sales, I'm going to be able to pitch other similar products or interests to the same customer avatar that I'm already focused on. So here's some examples. Let's say that you're selling dining tables, benches, and chairs. Someone comes in, hey, we're building a brand new house. We're trying to find a custom dining table. You know, we've heard about you guys. We've seen you on social media. We want to work out a deal. Okay, you sell them, say, a $3,500 dining table set or a $5,000 dining table set. From there, hey, before you guys leave, you know, we also do custom living room furniture. We do custom bedroom furniture. We also can build custom barn doors or interior doors. We do porch swings. We do patio furniture. We can do literally everything that you want. And I can even make it a sweet deal for you if we can do a lot of different products for you, right? So let's say your order is more than $10,000 or $15,000. We'll give you X amount of discount, so on and so forth, right? And so this is what is classified as a cross sell. Other things that you can do and tack onto your business that will be an additional stream of revenue is you could say do a 5-year warranty for an additional $300 or additional $500 with your products. Everybody gets a 1-year warranty. That comes for free. But if you want a 5-year warranty, it's an additional $300. And all that is, you're collecting an additional $300 for something that may or may not go wrong. And if it doesn't go wrong, you just made $300. And if it does go wrong, you can usually fix it for less than $300. And if you can't fix it for less than $300, well, here's the good news. For every 10 that you sell, 8 of them, nothing goes wrong, and 2 of them it does. Well, you just collected an additional $3,000 inside of your business, but 8 of them you didn't have to fix anything. 2 of them you maybe did. And let's say that they were $500 a piece. You made $3,000. You only had to spend $1,000 fixing things. Well, you still made a net $2,000 gain, right? So these are other cross sales or things that you can do to have multiple streams of income inside of your business. So once established, add in cross sell products, okay? Number 3, this one is the most important one after we nail these other two, is once you have a business that frees up your time, here are other income stream opportunities that you could take on. Now, if you build out a business that is essentially running without you, then you can take on other income streams, right? So for example, with this, the Woodworking Business Accelerator Program and me creating content, I started all this back when I still had my woodworking business. I had a team, I had a salesperson, I had a delivery driver, I had 3 or 4 guys in the shop, I had a commercial space. It all basically ran itself at that point. And that freed me up to do other things that were in my heart to pursue, AKA spending time with you guys here on YouTube or on the podcast, working with all my clients inside of the Woodworking Business Accelerator Program. These are other things that I had in my heart that I was passionate about that I wanted to do, but I didn't do that until I had a great thing that was working, okay? All right, woodworkers, I've got a challenge for you. It's called the 5K in 30-Day Challenge. Join the Woodworking Business Accelerator Program, follow exactly what we teach you to do, implement the systems, the processes, the sales scripts, and if you close $5,000 in new custom furniture sales in your first 30 days, we're gonna give you your program fee back. That's right. You will have literally built a business growth system for free. So why would I do this? Well, because I would rather actually put my money where my mouth is and win only if you win than just asking you that you should just simply trust me. So if you're ready to build a business that funds your life and not just your hobby, this is your chance to build it without any risk. Check it out, link in the description below. With that, let's get back to the video. So let me give you some other examples of ways to generate income that are still kind of around the woodworking industry or woodworking sphere of influence, okay? So number 1 is creating content and monetizing that content. So it's getting video cameras up, showing the process of how you do things, or talking and doing specific things like what I do here, right? Now, let me also just be very clear. I have never gone viral. I have never like quote unquote popped off, and we don't make a lot of money from monetization. You got to go big to make a substantial amount of money with monetization. And not a lot of people can do that, okay? Not to say that it can't be done, not to say that you can't do it, but you have to find that little pocket that really works. I do believe that I don't mix it up enough. I sit at a table and I talk direct to the camera every time, but I needed to do something that I could do repeatedly that would be easy on me. And so if you're going to monetize, be creative. If you're going to create content and monetize, be creative, do something unique, but make sure that you're going to do it in a way that is sustainable, okay? Because most people start something and flake out within 3 or 6 months when they identify that like, oh, this was actually a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. Which, by the way, creating content is a lot harder than you think it's going to be, okay? So that's number 1, content monetization. Number 2 is sponsorships with tool companies. The number 1 guy that I would point you to with something like this that I know personally is my friend Tyler Shaheen. He's an incredible guy, loves his family, loves Jesus, fantastic woodworker. You should check him out on Instagram, check him out on TikTok. But he has done very well for himself with sponsorships. I think he's basically gotten all of his tools inside of his shop free from sponsorships. I mean, he has a Shop Saber CNC that he got through a sponsorship. It's like an $80,000 machine, right? So pretty crazy. And he did that through creating valuable content, building an audience. Then he can offer value to these tool companies. Say, hey, I can promote your tools in exchange for just you giving them to me, right? And so that's the second thing that you can do. Number 3 are software sponsorships, right? There are software tools out there that are incredibly helpful for woodworkers, for woodworking business owners. I have been working with Jobber. That's a software that I believe in that I think really can be a one-stop shop for where you get leads, where you communicate with leads, where you schedule production, where you collect payments. It's fantastic, okay? So these are just important things to know that you can start stepping into and creating other streams of income with, okay? Number 4 is going into other verticals. This is probably not anything that I would recommend. I've already mentioned this. I would probably try to stay as closely connected to the industry that I'm in, but you can go into completely different verticals, right? You can go into other things that you've done in the past that maybe you're good at. If you have your time freed up, you could start other side hustles, side businesses. These are other ways to have multiple streams of income. Lastly, this is what I would recommend, is I would recommend staying in related verticals of the business. So for example, in my custom furniture company, we would buy lumber from a lumber supplier, pay for their profit, use that lumber to build our materials, and then send it to our customers. Well, an easy way to become vertically integrated, which all that means is that I own the entire process, would be instead of buying lumber from a lumber supplier, getting a lumber mill, getting a kiln, cutting down my own timber, milling it, drying it, and saving all of those savings and improving the profitability of my business, right? And so this is one of the main, like out of all the greatest business leaders ever, there's a guy, his name's John D. Rockefeller. He was basically, at one point in time, his oil company, Standard Oil, owned over 90% of all oil production inside of the United States. And so what he did, though, is that he became vertically integrated. He owned the wells that pulled it out of the ground. He owned the refineries. He owned the distribution. He owned the logistics. He owned all those things. And when you do that, you don't have to pay other companies the prices that they would charge in order to be profitable. Just like you, for example, if you can build a table for $500, well, you're not going to sell it for $500. You're going to sell it for $1,000 or $1,500 or $2,000 or whatever, right? And people have to pay for profits. Same with where you buy your lumber. If you're buying your lumber for $2 a board foot, well, they're probably cutting it and selling it to you with their costs at $1 a board foot. And so if you were in control of that process, your lumber bill would be cut in half. Your material costs would be cut down by half. You could either lower your prices and destroy your competitors because you had astronomically lower prices, or you could just maintain your prices and have a ton of profit margin left over. So becoming vertically integrated can be a huge step in the right direction if you're at that point where you're ready to diversify income streams, right? So hopefully this video has been helpful for you. I've kind of dove into some pretty deep principles here. And if this is helpful, please let me know in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. And with that, before we go, I want to give you a couple resources real quick. If you're new and you're trying to get started, you're trying to understand business principles with marketing, sales, fulfillment, production, all of those sorts of things, be sure to check out my free ebook, the Handmade Business Secrets ebook. Okay, it's completely free to you. All you got to do is go to the first link in the description below, enter your first name, your email, and we'll send that over to you for free. Okay, it really just outlines my journey of going from my garage to $75,000 per month. Okay. Second is the Handmade Hero Academy program. If you're new and you're trying to really wrap your mind around business principles and you're trying to test products and find which product the market's going to want, and you're trying to figure out how to become better at photography and videography, and you're trying to figure out how do I build a Shopify website so that I can get my stuff online, and how do I run traffic to that website? If you're at that point in your business, I want to encourage you to check that out. It's a low-cost investment, and with one sale of a high-ticket furniture product, you're going to make all of your money back, okay? So be sure to check that out. Lastly is the Woodworking Business Accelerator Program. If you're trying to get on the level of what we talked about today, if you're trying to get to where you have one thing and it's truly great, to where you can get your time back, you can diversify your energy into other income streams, this is the number one thing I would recommend to you. Is inside of the Woodworking Business Accelerator Program, we help bolster and beef up your product catalog so that you have a lot more products to market and you can capture more of the market because you have something to show them. We're going to help improve your brand. We're going to give you the sales script to close more deals. We're going to run ads for you or teach you how to run ads so that you are attracting clients to your brand and getting opportunities. And then lastly, we're going to stand by you and coach you through every step of the process. If you're struggling with marketing and sales, we're going to coach you on that. If you're struggling with creating a more efficient workspace, we're going to coach you through that. Whatever it is, woodworking business related, we're there to help you on your journey. And so it is not cheap. It does require an investment, but it is always, in my opinion, from what we've seen, a well-spent investment. So with that, hopefully this video was helpful to you. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.